Hello and welcome to installing Zend Server for IBM I. In this video, we're going to cover the installation prerequisites for installing Zend Server 2021. We'll have a live demonstration of the actual installation, and we'll also discuss many of the requirement processes. We'll wrap up by exploring some of the post-installation activities so you can get going with PHP on your IBM I. All of the steps outlined in this video and even more detail are available on our online documentation at zend.com. Before we get started, it's a good idea to get familiar with the new process as it has changed since Zend Server 2019. The older versions of Zend Server used to use the trusty licensed program options for many years. As open source solutions have become more popular on IBM I, the folks at IBM Rochester have adopted a new method for delivering solutions using Yum and RPMs. Zend Server 2020 and higher utilize this new installer process, and you'll be able to see the results from the open source package management features in ACS, or Access Client Solutions. As a result of this new installation process, there is no direct upgrade path from Zend Server 2019 or lower. The primary tool we'll be using for installing Zend Server will be the command shell. You can use either the call QP2 term shell on the 5250 green screen, or a true command shell client like PuTTY, illustrated here. We recommend the client option for best results, and we'll be demonstrating that throughout the remainder of this video. The online docs for Zend Server illustrate the QP2 term option, and the commands are the same in either setting. Let's take a look at the prerequisites required for installing Zend Server for IBM I. First are the licensed programs. These licensed programs are required for running Zend Server on your IBM I. There's a very good chance that these are already loaded and turned on, but always best to double check. These programs include Portable Application Solutions Environment, or PACE, which is 5770 SS1 option 33, Q Shell of the same LP option 30, the IBM HTTP Server for I, 5770 DG1 base option, IBM Portable Utilities for I, 5733 SC1 base option, and then option 1 of 5733 SC1, which supplies OpenSSH, SST, and ZLib, and many other utilities. These options can be displayed using the Go License Program screen menu option 10, or via ACS by looking at the DB2 services via the SQL statement illustrated on the slide. In addition to the licensed programs, we want to make sure that our PTFs are up to date, and it's always a good idea to have good PTFs. The one in particular we're looking for is the IBM HTTP Server for I. Making sure you have a current or recent PTF group for the HTTP server will ensure solid running of your web applications. To allow ACS and the shell, or the PuTTY shell, to communicate securely to IBM I, we're going to need to start the SSHD daemon, otherwise known as Secure Shell. This is done by issuing the start TCP server command start SSHD from the green screen command line. Open source package management was introduced a few years ago by the IBM Rochester team for distributing open source technology. This application installs on your desktop and will install all the components necessary to install Zend Server. We're going to use the command line option, but you'll be able to see all of those things illustrated via this interface. If you already have it installed, then you're all set. If not, you may need to head to the IBM website for instructions on how to install ACS and/or the open source package management feature. This feature has been available since ACS version 1.1.8.3, but it's a good idea to get the most recent version available for your IBM I.